G'day, welcome back to the Elusive Plants YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to build your own humidifier for your indoor plants. I feel like it's probably best for greenhouse use because moisture inside is not a good idea. It creates mold, or like a well ventilated area where you just want to boost the humidity every now and then. I have mine on a timer that's set to come on at 9 AM, 12 PM, 3 PM, 6 PM for 5-minute intervals just to keep boosting up the humidity throughout the day. So my greenhouses are usually between like 80 and 99, 100% humidity all day long, and the plants absolutely love it. I'm not going to be putting the prices of anything on the screen or anything like that because the prices of items change so drastically so quickly, but you're looking at around about $250 to $350 thereabouts, depending on what products and parts you need to buy. But it's a very good investment because you're making a really good quality product that is going to last for years and years and years. I'll put up some B-roll too, but like you'll see that it starts to like slowly bellow out. These humidifiers are very, very powerful. They will fill up a greenhouse with mist within a matter of minutes. They start out as like a little bit of a trickle, and then before you know it, there's like a wall of mist right in front of your face if you open up the greenhouse door. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you all of the things that you're going to need to get before you can start building one. So the main things that you're going to need are a mist maker, a 4-inch extractor fan, a drill with a hole saw, some duct tape, some silicone, the silicone triggery thingy, some weather seal, a 90-degree 90mm PVC elbow, female and female, two 45-degree 90mm PVC elbows, female and female, 3 PVC internal reducers, 100mm to 90mm, and 3 90mm mosquito screens. You also want a 1 meter 90mm PVC pipe, preferably an electric saw, but if you don't, like me, have a handsaw. And also a good optional thing for this is a soldering iron. And of course you want to get yourself a storage container. Mine's a 90-litre one. This will be like the housing unit for the humidifier itself. I should also mention that everything that I'm doing right now is scalable. If you don't want one as big as this, then just get a smaller storage container. The mist makers, I've got one that's got 12 mist producer things. You can get ones that have less. And just things like that. You can get smaller things of everything, but I'm doing one now for like a greenhouse. I would also recommend not to do this inside because you'll just get mold everywhere. These things very, very, very quickly fill a room with mist. So for your storage container lid, you really want to try and get one that's pretty flat. Like I struggled to find one that was really flat because it's got like these grooves and stuff here, but just try and get as flat as what you possibly can. Then you're going to want to get the reducers and place them roughly where you want the bellowing like mist to come out of, and also one for where the fan will blow into. Because I've got these things here, I'm trying to avoid them so I don't have to do a weird cut. So something like that is good, and then probably put them at the front and cut out these ones here. Ignoring any stickers, you can peel them off if you want. I'm not going to. Yeah, so I think there's probably the best bet. There's lines all along here that's going to be annoying, but like I can't avoid that. So then you're going to want to get a Sharpie or a permanent marker, whatever you want to call it, and mark the very middle as best as you can for where we're going to like drill into. So there, and there. Bit of a scene change now. This is where you get your drill and your hole saw. I also recommend getting some boiling water because it will help to make the plastic a bit more malleable and not crack when you saw into it. So get yourself some hot water. Don't pour too much because it might make the plastic warp, and then tip it off, and then hold firmly and flatly, line up the point of the drill with where you want to cut, and slowly do it. So then you're going to go ahead and do that to the other two. So once you're done, your lid should look something like this. You've got your 3 poles where the mist will come out of here, and this one will be for where the fan will blow air in to push it out. I used a 90mm hole saw, and the reducers are 100mm. So I'm sure you can probably get 100mm hole saws, but I've only got a 90mm one. So that's where I'm going to be using the soldering iron. You can just use sandpaper or something if you like. I'm just going to run the soldering iron around the edges here to just make it a little bit bigger. It's just got to be big enough that this will fit in here. So yeah, let's go do that now. scenery change. If you haven't already figured out, I'm not good on the tools. I'm 36 next month, it's the 17th of January now, my birthday's on the 19th, so almost exactly a month. And I'm just not good with tools. Never been good with tools. I've tried many times, but it's just not for me. I'm a plant guy, not a tool guy. But anyway, so you could probably do a much better job than me. Like this one, for example, has some minor crackage. Like here, how it cracked a little bit, but that's okay because we've got silicone. Silicone will cover that and it'll be as good as new. So let's get this soldering done. You really don't want to breathe this air in too, so if you've got a mask, I highly recommend using it. But yeah, I just get the tip of the soldering iron and just go like this and just slowly go around, smoothing out those edges, pushing them out a bit and making the holes bigger. I'll come back once I'm done because this is gross and I need to go outside and do it. So once you're done, the lid should look like this, where the reducers all sit into the holes that we've made. Some of them may be a little bit more loose, like this one here. It's pretty loose, but that's okay because the silicone is going to hold it in place. Some of them are more tight, like this one doesn't really move. Fantastic, that's the ideal situation, the outcome. So what we're going to do now is just put this to the side and work on the storage container part itself real quick. So then when it comes to siliconing, we're just going to do two things at once to get them all done and then to set aside to set for a little bit. So get rid of this for a minute. So with the storage container, we're gonna want to put a hole somewhere in the middle here, roughly like 7 to 10 centimeters down. This is where, like, you could use a drill piece, but then you run the risk of cracking the container, or you can just use the soldering iron. You want to make the hole as big as the connector part for the mist maker. I'll show you. So this is a mist maker, and this is what I was talking about before with the 12 things that make the mist. You can get them in smaller sizes, ones that don't have 12, just if you want to make a smaller humidifier itself. But they also come with floats now, which are incredible. They never used to have these, and I've gone ahead and done the measurements for you. So if you're going to make the exact same humidifier that I'm making in a 90-litre storage container, then you want to put 100 mils of water in each of these floats to get it to float 20 centimeters below the water to make the best amount of mist. So 100 mils in each float. But anyway, when you buy this, the transformer and the mist maker come separated. So I put them together, but I'll undo it now. So they come like this, detached. So you want to make a hole in the side of the storage container big enough to thread this cord through. And then don't worry about it having a hole, because then we'll just fill it up with silicone later. So go ahead and do that now. You want it to be about 10 centimeters down. So if you see here where the hole is, it fits in there now, which is what we want. So then the transformer stays outside and the mist maker goes inside the storage container. And the hole will just silicone up when we do the lid. So I'll go ahead and get that set up now, and then we'll do the siliconing process. So you want it to look like this, where the mist maker is sitting on the bottom of the storage container and the cord isn't too bundled up in here. So then when you put water in, it'll float and the cord's not gonna get like tangled up and like creating issues. This is where the silicone comes into it. You might wanna get yourself a glove if you don't have one, because it gets a bit messy sometimes. Let me get a better camera angle happening here. So for the storage container itself, you just wanna block all this part up here where the cord is with silicone, build like a bit of a wall. Takes a little bit, and you gotta use your fingers, but you know, you'll get there. Doesn't have to be pretty. This is gonna be at the back of the storage container and you're not gonna see it. You just don't want, well, it's not the end of the world if there's any holes, but it's just better in my opinion if there is none. Go from the inside if you have to. And obviously this isn't like a permanent thing. You can pull away the silicone and take the cords out and stuff if you need to. Like if you ever want to disassemble or if you ever want to replace the storage container, you can do that too. I think that's perfectly sealed. So put this to the side and we will work on the lid. So with the lid, I've only ever built a humidifier once before, and a silicone from the top only. This time I'm going to do the bottom as well, because I noticed with the other one that I built, there was some seepage from only doing it one side. So I'll do this side now. We'll let it set for about an hour, then we'll come back and do the top. So same thing, you're just gonna go around the rim and seal off any cracks. And if you've cracked the plastic in places like I have, then now's a perfect opportunity as well to seal up any cracks you might have done. And just use your finger to press it in. Again, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or not because you're not going to see this. So we'll leave that here to sit for about an hour and then we'll come back and check on it. Do the other side. Go get yourself a drink, it's really hot out here. Alrighty, so it's been about an hour, a little over an hour actually, and everything's where it should be. Things aren't moving too much. This one is because I missed a spot. Whoop, move the table. I missed the spot where it's not attached here, so this one moves a little bit on this side, but this side is completely fine. Everything else is sturdy, they're not moving. That's what you want. So now I'm gonna go ahead and silicone this side. This way I'll get all the other spots that I've missed. So I'll come back once this is done. I should also mention that there's cleaner ways of doing this. You can get like grommets and things like that, but I am mad bogan and poor, so this is how we're doing it. The next thing I'm gonna do is use weather stripping to go around the entire outside of the storage container. This prevents seepage from under the roof of like the lid of the humidifier. It prevents it from like coming out the sides and stuff. You can also use butterfly clips or butterfly screws, whatever they're called. I'm not going to do that because it's not that serious to me. Uh-oh, it's stuck. But it's completely up to you, personal preference. So with this, it's sticky on the other side. So you just go around the side like this and it just sticks there. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's not too bunched up and stuff. I've also found too that as the storage container does age, it starts to bulge a little bit on the sides. So it does have a tendency, like this is where the clips would come in handy because it does have a tendency of having it seep out the side, but being in a greenhouse, it's not that big of a deal for me because it just seeps out into the rest of the greenhouse. I need a little bit more, so I'm gonna go cut some up and we'll be finished with this. So this next part I've been dreading this entire time because I remember from the last time, I don't have an electric saw, so I have to do it all by hand. But I'm gonna hand saw this 1 meter long PVC pipe into two 40 centimeter lengths, and then we'll see with the other part because it varies on the, depending on what sort of fan you got, depends on the length you'll cut the other two parts. But anyway, we'll start with cutting this into two 40 centimeter parts. I need to keep telling myself that so I don't stuff it up. All right, so now we have two 40 centimeter pipes instead and a 20 centimeter one. Let me tell you, my arms are throbbing from doing that. So highly recommend making friends with somebody that's got like an electric saw. Don't tool, I don't know what I'm talking about. Just something that's a lot easier than doing it by hand. But that's all I'm gonna do today. Come with me here. That's all I'm gonna do today because there's a storm coming. You can't really see. And I gotta wait for the silicone to completely set. So I'll reconvene tomorrow. We're almost done actually. We're very, very close to being finished. So tomorrow, finish it all up, get some mist in that greenhouse. So we're back and it's actually a few days later. It's been storming here like there's no tomorrow. So I think it's been like 2 or 3 days, which means I've had time to wash this shirt. So if I didn't say anything, you would just think it's the same day. But full transparency, it's another day. So this is what it should look like and everything should be set. Everything like should not move. So you've got the two up the front here and one at the back. The one at the back is gonna be for the fan. And that's where the 20 centimeter pipe will come in to play. That should fit right in there. Yeah, it does. But anyway, we need to get the fan and we need to figure out the distance between the fan from where this sits, and then we need to cut, and then we need to connect this part, the top part of where we cut, to the fan. It sounds complicated, I'll show you. And the thing is, it's gonna vary from person to person based on what fan you buy and what container you have. So that's something you're gonna have to figure out yourself. I'll show you my old humidifier. It's so bright out here. I'll show you my old humidifier and show you why I can't just measure that one, because the old humidifier that I have has a different fan than what I was able to get this time. I don't think they make the fan that I had that time, but I'll show you that one and you'll understand why I can't just measure. This is so overgrown in here. Look at that new tie leaf, that's hot. All right, it's right down the back here on the ground. Try and make our way through here without damaging everything. Goodness me. Ugh. So the fan that I had with this one is a Vivo Sun fan, and I don't think they make it anymore. But you'll see that down the bottom here, if I can get in here, is where we're gonna make a cut. And then up here is another one, but you can't see it because it's duct taped up. So let's go do that now. So the fan that I have this time is a Hongen fan, never heard of it. I haven't even turned this on to see if it works. So we can only hope. But it should say in which direction the airflow is. So it's saying that the airflow is this way. So we need to make sure that this is facing the way that the hole is that will push the airflow into the humidifier. Does that make sense? So it would sit like this on the lid, and there's no real way to attach it. You can attach it if you like. So you can see based on this one, that this one's a lot more closer to the lid than the previous one that I've built. So we need to figure out how this is gonna sit. I don't really know how I'm gonna figure it out, but we'll go for it. So see how this doesn't fit onto here? That's why we need to cut a little bit to go in between the two. You might find that you'll need to move the fan over more to make more room to get like a gap here. Do you know what I mean? So both of these are gonna be small. All right, so let's push this all the way over as far as it can go. And it's gonna look like that. So then this should go in here. It does, good. And then that will go on here. It does, good. So now we need to cut this to be the length of this to make the distance up. I'm trying to make this make sense in my brain, not just yours, because I'm not good with maths or any sort of traditional man thing. So this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cut a little bit extra, so then, because this goes in quite, like, that's just in there now, it can keep going in for a while. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit longer, so then if I've cut it too long, I can just push it in a little bit longer, but I don't wanna go too long because then it runs the risk of hitting whatever's inside. For my reference, and yours I suppose, if you're copying this exact way that I'm doing it, it's going to be 14.5 centimeters. And as for the other one, I'll figure that out once I've cut this one. So I'm gonna stop recording and come back. Okay, so we have a 14.5 centimeter and a 5.5 centimeter. Let's see how this goes. Goodness me. So these are gonna be attached. So you're gonna be using the 90-degree joiner thing here. So put that in there, this in here. And then hopefully this is gonna be not too big. That's pretty perfect if you ask me. That works out well. It's a little bit high, but at the end of the day, like, who cares? That's good. So now we're gonna get duct tape and tape it all up. And now you're also gonna get one of the mosquito net stopper thingies and put that in this end. This prevents mosquitoes from going in and like having babies in here. Again, same thing, just duct tape it up. And then the last thing we're gonna do, so close to being finished, is we're gonna be putting these, the 20 centimeter cuttings, into here. And of course, you can also like paint this to make it pretty if you want to. I don't care as long as it serves its purpose. Can you see that? Sort of. Might need to go back a bit. Or like tilt it up. That's a bit better for you. Not the best angle for me, but YOLO. Let's turn this on a bit of an angle so you can see both as well. They look very uneven because of the angle of the camera, but they're the same height. You can also, if you want to, put like bamboo or something in between here to like keep them more sturdy, but honestly, this is gonna go in the greenhouse and it's gonna stay in the greenhouse for a very long time, so I don't really care. The next thing, you wanna get the 45-degree ones and stick them on here. And then lastly, you wanna put the last two mosquito mozzie stoppers on the ends of these ones to stop any Mosquitoes getting in the top here too. And when I'm filling this up with water, I should also mention that you're meant to use tap water, not tank water with these. I also use tank water, don't tell anyone, and I've had absolutely no issues. So do what you want. Yeah, and when I fill this up with water, I just pour water in through the tops here. Anyway, this is done. Let's go set it up in the greenhouse, get some water in it, and pray to God it works. I did for a split second think that the fan wasn't working, and I'm still hoping that I'm right here because the humidifier part, the mist maker's working, but the fan's not. Then I realized you can change the speed in which it comes out, and I'm hoping it's all the way down low. Yes. There we go. Look at that. It doesn't look like much, but give it a few minutes and this entire greenhouse will be a wall of mist when you open the door. We'll come back and have a better look at it once it's been on for a few minutes. All right, I think it's been enough time. Let's have a look. Wow, see what I mean? Absolutely chock-a-block full of mist. You can't even see the back of the greenhouse anymore. These humidifiers are incredible. A quick little life hack that you can do too is you can get an old ice cream container, cut 2 slits down the sides, and you could even use like the soldering iron to make a hole here. And this will work great as like a housing thing for a double adapter if you're using it, because I'm using a double adapter. So then you can plug the fan and the mist maker into it, and then silicone up the cracks and stuff and seal the lid shut. Makes it a waterproof container for your electrical, because you don't want electrical stuff around water. I'm not going to do that on camera though, that's not what this video is about. But anyway, I hope you found this video informative. If you end up making this, let me know, send it to me on Instagram or something like that. I would absolutely love to see your attempt at making one, and hopefully works out well for you. If you enjoyed this video, then absolutely share it with some friends. You just could have like a humidifier building day. Wouldn't that be nice? I'll also leave a link to all of the products that I used in the description, except for like the saw and the drill. Like just borrow that off somebody. Don't go out and actually buy one. Unless you've got one on hand, then that's perfect. Or if you've got a husband or someone that's got stuff. Or like a lesbian friend, I don't know. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.